Hey, with the extreme cold around North Texas right now, we are experiencing our coldest temperatures of the year with wind chills in the single digits. You can see our temperatures scrolling at the bottom of your screen right now across North Texas. We're going to keep that for you up all morning long. Mineral Wells at 10. So as traffic starts to pick up, we are keeping a close eye on the roads too. Crews have been treating them all week, but you could still hit some slick spots.
And we're also keeping a close eye on your power too. Encore's website does show a weather alert, but so far, no major issues. That's huge. About 4,000 homes without power right now, which I think is probably a lot better than what we saw some years ago.
Right.
Definitely a lot better than what we saw some years ago. And welcome back to Daybreak. I'm Matt Howardson, in for Mark.
And I'm Kara Soul. So another thing we have to mention, we're going to have the schools that are delayed or closed at the bottom of your screen. We know that Salina is one of those, Greenville, one of those that are closed today, but then a lot of schools opening up a little bit later.
Yeah.
We're looking at like 10 o'clock, buses running at 9 o'clock. So just something to keep in mind today. Greg, it's because it is so cold.
Oh, painfully cold. I know a gust of wind hit me in the face walking across the parking lot, and it's like, ouch. Yeah, it hits you hard. So you definitely need to be bundled up heading out the door, to say the least, as we are talking about seriously cold temperatures below zero with those feels like temperatures. So that extreme cold warning in effect through tomorrow morning. So we're going to be doing this all over again for tomorrow with temperatures maybe even a little bit colder, getting into that record cold category for us heading into tomorrow morning. But yes, we're in the single digits, low and middle teens out there. And those wind chills, yes, they are well below zero in many locations around North Texas here this morning. 12 taking you out to Denton right now. Look at that wind chill, -8. That's what it feels like out there for you right now. So we'll have the cloudy skies. We've been talking about the flurries that have been flying around. That won't amount to much temperatures. That's going to be the story for us this morning, heading out the door with 14 in McKinney, along with Greenville, 16 coming out to Terrell this morning. And we're looking at a few spots, even in the single digits, heading out to Bowie at 9 right now and Graham at 8. And as we factor in those winds, look at these wind chills. Mineral Wells, -10, -8 heading out to Denton right now, and -4 heading over to Greenville. So yes, it is a very, very cold morning. -5 in Fort Worth with that feels like temperature. We've been talking about that light snow. Those are the dusty snow flurries kind of flying around, that dry snow. Again, not causing any problems on the roads, but still a few flakes flying around in some locations here this morning too. But the kids heading out to school, those who do have to head out, please do bundle them up, dress accordingly. Won't be outside at all today, and hopefully they don't have to be on the bus stop long at all. So getting right from the bus maybe into the building or the car if you're dropping them off this morning. You see those noontime temperatures only around 20 degrees or so, and then coming home we are looking at temperatures not getting up above 30 degrees. It doesn't look like later on today. So hopefully no big problems out there on the roads. We haven't seen any too much yet as far as problems are concerned, but let's get over to Brianna to check more on that.
Hey, yes, let's do it. So yeah, not a lot of problems out there on the roadways, but I do want to show you something that I thought was pretty cool. And y'all know I just moved here from Florida, so I've never really seen this in my entire life. So we did see some of those snow flurries there. A couple cars are being extra careful out on the roadways. This is in Weatherford. So right now, no major issues in this area. It's just been really, really cool. I think I'm blocking it. Here we go. You can kind of see it right there. So those snow flurries are out in a lot of areas across the metroplex. So taking a look at our area overall, it actually looks pretty okay. I'm not seeing a lot of major incidents actually. Let's see if we can get these maps to work. Awesome. So 35E at Commerce in the northbound lanes, it's actually starting to pick up there. 35E at 635 north, the overpasses look really good. I'm not seeing tons of icy conditions there that are causing major incidents. For now, I'm going to toss it to Chris Sadeghi, who is on 45 heading back towards Dallas, right, Chris?
Yeah, that's right, Brianna. Just north of Corsicana on 45, and both the trip we made down there and the trip we're making back right now didn't run into too many issues on the road. In fact, the roads are dry, maybe a little bit of moisture in the air, but for the most part, traffic zooming right along. I will say that if you're in an area where there is still moisture on the roads, we did get some precipitation yesterday, that could still cause some slick spots, especially when we're talking about those bridges and overpasses. That's why TxDOT, the city crews, they were out there, they were putting down the brine solution. We know that they're working 12-hour shifts. That actually started at midnight, and they will be doing so as we get through this winter weather. So if you do get out on the road, especially if you get out before the sun comes up, like right now, it can be difficult to see if you do come upon a slick spot. So a good idea just to take it slow, whether you're on the highway, the side streets, keep an eye out. especially, as we say it, we can't say it enough, on those bridges and those overpasses. Matt and Kara, back to you.
Yeah, good reminder, Chris. Thank you. And most of our North Texas school districts are open as usual, but we do have cancellations. There are some delays because it is so cold. You can find those scrolling on the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, and I just analyzed the list we have on WFAA.com. We have a total of 50 schools online talking about whether they're starting on time or if they're delayed. 34 are delayed this morning. 14 schools are closed and 2 are just starting on time. So for the kids, that's just kind of goes to show how cold it is in districts. They're taking their time and making sure that they're going to be out when the sun is up, and maybe it's a little bit warmer, hopefully. Tiffany Liu is in Fort Worth, where kids are already out there waiting for buses. Tiffany, everyone needs layers today. You're going to tell us how kids should bundle up.
Yeah, it truly is dangerously cold outside, and we're getting these really strong gusts of wind. So for kids that have to walk to school or maybe wait for the bus to get to school, it's not going to be a fun wait today. It's not going to be a fun walk. I spoke with a pediatrician who gave some advice on what you should do to bundle up your kids and keep them as safe as possible in these freezing temperatures. And he told me that the key thing is to have layers. I brought some examples for you because he says these are the most important layers that you're going to want to have. The first layer is the base layer. This is, you see the wind blowing? That's how windy it is. It's cold when it's windy. So this is your base layer. This is your thermals, moisture wicking. In case your child sweats, it'll collect that sweat and not keep it on their body, so they won't be cold when they do sweat. The second layer they want to have is maybe a hoodie with a fleece, wool, anything like that that will trap the warmth inside and keep their bodies warm. And then this final layer here is going to be your outer layer, that winter weather layer, waterproof if possible. This is the most important layer that they should be wearing when they are outside. You want to do the same thing with your pants. Snow pants today is a great idea, some thick snow pants. You also want to keep your head warm with beanies, a scarf. Gloves are so important to keep those fingers warm. Thick socks and some boots with traction so they don't slip and fall if there are any slick spots on the sidewalks if they are walking to school. The two things we really want to avoid today are hypothermia and also frostbite. And so you definitely want to limit your child's exposure outside if you can. Let's send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Tiffany, we appreciate that update. Good perspective.
Yes.
You don't want to regret anything when you walk out the door this morning.
No, not at all.
We're keeping a close eye on the roads, as we've said. So joining us on the phone is Kenna Mitchell with TxDOT-Dallas. Hey, Kenna, good to hear from you.
Yes, good morning.
So are we seeing any particular issues this morning? I know you all have been treating for days.
Well, we have been, and fortunately the wind has really helped us out. They've been almost like a second partner with us here. But it's keeping things dry this morning. You know, there are some isolated areas where there might have been some runoff or something that's causing some moisture still to be on that roadway, and crews have been in 12-hour shifts since yesterday, making sure that we're treating those areas. And overall, we're looking pretty good this morning, but still just be on alert for those areas that could have the potential to be ice.
Yeah, and Kenna, you know, it's awesome when Mother Nature can help you guys out just a little bit, but what are crews actually focusing on this morning in North Texas? Can you just kind of inform our viewers about, you know, the roads that they're going toward, or what types of roadways are headed toward, thoroughfares, that type of thing?
Well, certainly we're keeping a close eye on those bridges and overpasses because that's where you're going to see the freezing effects first. So we're watching those closely. And then in some areas where we have some snow flurries, like out in the Mesquite area, certainly paying attention there. It looks like right now things aren't sticking to the roadway, which is good, but we're going to be staying out throughout the day, making sure that everything is in good shape.
Yeah, TxDOT, NTTA working hard. That's Kenna Mitchell there from TxDOT. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And while we aren't seeing heavy snow here, this same system bringing us this extreme cold is dumping several inches of snow across the country, including just to our north in Oklahoma. That weather will impact any travel plans that you might have today. Meteorologist Mariel Ruiz has a look at the conditions across the country. And yeah, it is cold. We were joking about Bismarck yesterday. I think it was negative 27 this morning, somewhere around those lines.
Yeah, Bismarck, one of those places that was close to negative 60 when talking about wind chills. But in Oklahoma City, 2 degrees right now, 18 degrees in Little Rock. And I mean, that cold air really centering itself in the middle part of really the northern part of the country. -27 in Bismarck, -23 in Rapid City, and -3 in Minneapolis. Areas along the northeast also in the single digits, and high winds there too. Mount Washington in New Hampshire reached over 160-mile-per-hour wind speeds. I mean, it is elevated, but that's still incredibly impressive. But that's really what's prompting all of these winter weather alerts. You see the dark blue there. That's what we have in place. That is an extreme cold warning. The lighter blue, that's cold weather advisory. And then you see that snow across areas of Kentucky, Tennessee. Forecast high temperatures stay freezing for most of these locations. So look at this. This is where we're seeing some of that snow that extends anywhere from northern Alabama, Georgia into West Virginia, and the Carolinas as well. What we're looking at now is going to be the potential for this continuing throughout the rest of the morning. Meanwhile, heavy rain along the Gulf Coast there, especially closer to Florida. A lot of this pushes off towards the east, so the mid-Atlantic getting in on some of that snow action throughout the morning into the midday, and that heavy rain continues for areas of the southeast. So if you are traveling, getting on an airplane, going east, you're going to be running into some delays. And if you're anywhere in the middle part of the country or going to the middle part of the country, also be aware of the temperatures that are very close to zero in some spots, Kara.
Yeah, like I said, you don't have any regrets when you walk out the door. You're gonna go, I brought too much, not too little.
That's right.
Make sure you have our free streaming app, WFAA Plus, coming up right at 7 o'clock. We're going to have an extended hour of daybreak with our team coverage across North Texas, and our team of meteorologists will bring you updated forecasts throughout the day. You can download WFAA Plus right now on your Roku, Fire TV, or Apple TV.
Still to come on